So every time I ride this bike in particular, a thought crosses my mind. I think, this bike is 35 years old. And I think there might be some people watching this video that aren't even 35 years old. And how many people lived through this time that these bikes were the state of the art, and the big to do about the most modern features they had, and all the fork anti-dive and the different size wheels and everything. You can check this whole thing out in 4K, just adjust your setting, of course. But as I look back, look forward here, it is really a super hot day. It's going to be in the 90s from the time we actually leave for this ride. Now, several days this week, the weatherman predicted it's going to be the hottest day of the year. And every time, pretty much he was right. And today he said 95 by lunchtime, by 12. We are getting out of here super early, take care of the farm, feed the fish, pre-flight the bike, and get out on the open road and find some shady roads to ride in. Now, my morning routine is exactly the same as it is in freezing cold weather. I don't like to go out on the road on a bike that might have a nail in the tire, and a lot of times you pick it up on the way home, and in the morning you never check it and you've got a low tire. Well, I had two when I first got the MT-09, so I check this every day. It's part of my habit from owning an airplane for many years. Anyway, and I like to keep the bike clean. I don't know why. A lot of people give me a hard time about keeping a bike clean. Fast Mike says you don't have to clean the bike every time you ride. Maybe he's right. Or get a haircut. Maybe we're due for a haircut too. Anyway, the fish, of course, we love our fish. I've had them almost 30 years now. I dug the pond with my help of my son, and these fish have been with us for a long time. And they're babies, and who knows what. Maybe they're having babies I don't know about, not paying their child support, or their fish support. We're getting cucumbers every day, baby ones to make pickles, and bigger ones to eat. Virtually every day we get some produce. I always pick Karen a few fresh flowers from the garden every day. The zinnias are starting to come into full bloom, and she likes to come down to breakfast and see nice fresh flowers. She always does me a favor too. She picks out some cool exotic plants that we grow in the yard. And I enjoy doing the watering and maintenance, and it's already, look at this, 94 degrees already. Now, when this era of bike was first out on the market, and they were really, to me, they were beautiful with the fairings. I loved the styling of them. And at that point in my life, like a lot of us, you hit a spot where you didn't have the money to buy one. And even working two jobs didn't work for me enough that I could afford a new one. But I have two of them now. And the latest features of the time: anti-dive forks, 18-inch back wheel, 16-inch front wheel. Boy, they had more air shock in the back. They had more kind of gizmos on this bike, and they all still seem to work pretty good. And a real eye-opener is to ride a 35-year-old bike, come home and jump on a bike that's only a year or two old with all safety features. It's eye-opening. So the question from some people is, well, you know, you've got new bikes and old bikes. Which bikes do you like the best? And believe me, it's like children or pets or fish or whatever. Or if you have two girlfriends, it's hard to pick them. Sometimes it's better just to have more. And what's always nice about this is every day I ride is different than the day before. It's a different ride. The bikes all handle different. They all bring back different memories, and this bike is great at bringing back memories of the late 80s. I remember back 35 years ago, they were all excited about the 16-inch front wheel, the nimble handling. Boy, that was such a big thing in the magazine, and over the years, they've kind of really gotten away from it. Now, Luciano has a big Ninja with two 16-inch wheels front and back. And when I rode that bike, I was amazed. It makes a bike very nimble and quick turning. I like it. Now, back 35 years ago, another thing that manufacturers did that I'm not sure it's good or bad, but the bikes were less focused. They were all designed to do several things well. Yeah, you could take them to the track, but yeah, basically it's a road bike. And you had a comfortable seat even if you had a passenger. And they got good mileage. And some of the other things, they were easy to work on, relatively easy to work on. And most of them got really good mileage. Now, over the years, we have bikes now that don't do any of that, but they are really focused. And if that bike seems to work for you, well, there's no reason not to have it. But this is the kind of bike that really works for me. And as I get older, collecting bikes from periods of my life that I have great memories of, the collection really floats my boat. Now, since I was a young teenager, I've never not owned a motorcycle, at least one. Most of the time, I've owned more than one. A lot of times, some of them were not registered bikes. They were parts bikes. Or when I had the race bikes, I had 7 of them. But there really only was 1 or 2 bikes I made from parts and whatever. But now that I have a nice, humble collection, I really appreciate every one of them. And when I used this bike on a group ride with a bunch of much more modern bikes with all the features and maybe more technology, this bike still is so much fun to ride. And looking back over my 65 plus years of motorcycling, 60 years maybe, I think back to all the 2-strokes, the dirt bikes, the H1s, the H2s, the Water Buffalo, and everything. And then I think there's gaps in there where I didn't have, again, the money to buy bikes. But as I rounded out my collection, and as you get older, having a collection of bikes is more and more attractive. And you can fill in the gaps of the years that you really couldn't afford to get a new bike. Now, when it's in the 90s, and maybe it's even going to go even higher than what they predicted, staying in the shade is job one. And these back roads where I like to ride, this area, and I take my friends there on the weekends, this is a beautiful area, nice and shady. And over the years, the parts bike that I have, that was a track bike, it was so handy when I did the 500-hour restoration. And what I basically did, I took the best parts, the best set of wheels. I do have 2 sets of wheels. I have a spare engine. I have a whole spare bike, spare body work, and I've thought of making an evil twin with the red and black Kawasaki paint job. A lot of projects maybe in the future. I don't know. You know, what happens with all of us at this point in your life, you run out of time. And I'm always amazed how this bike and other bikes in my collection have stood the test of time. To me, it's amazing. This is a 35-year-old bike. Now, some of the things that were a lot of work on this bike, creating that tail section with carbon fiber and getting rid of the tail light, making my own custom tail tidy out of carbon fiber. A lot of the little detail touches on this bike took a lot longer than I thought they would, but so worth it. Just the other day I counted. I have 5 different mufflers that have been on this bike, including a Norton muffler, including a Yoshimura muffler, and when I got the MUZZY, I love the sound. Oh, and it's just that, and I say it on every video, it's reasonably nice and mellow going through town up till about half throttle. But I love that sound, that IndyCar sound when you're going through the gears, especially if you're in an open area. And some of these back roads, they're a lot more challenging in real life than they are when you're watching it on video. They can get to be surprising. And I can't imagine how many people over the years have asked me to look at the bike and say, where's the headlight? Does that thing flip up? And they never seem to notice the high intensity lights inside the fairing. Anyway, I always do get a kick out of that. But again, what's nice about this bike, it does many things well. It's nice cruising the back roads, going through the gears, riding with your friends in a group ride, or just going out like I did today on a day you really shouldn't even be out there riding. It's so hot. But it just, to me, it has passed the test of time very, very well. And again, every time I ride it, it just fills my head with great memories. Fast Mike told me he was cooking the other day on the way home from his ride. Today, I'm sure I'm going to cook, and time to get back to the farm. So we are back, and it absolutely was the hottest day of the year. God, was it hot on our way back. Whew, and this bike usually runs cool, but I don't know. I know the fish are cool. Karen's waiting for me to come up and have some iced tea, and we're going to work in the garden. So I hope you did enjoy our little ride today in the heat, in the microwave. So if you are new to our channel and you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. We also cover riding in all different seasons that are as appropriate as we can. We like to do graphic and paint work from time to time. Usually it's in the winter. We hang out with our friends, try to get their bikes on the videos too. We love to do evil twins. Anybody that knows what an evil twin is will enjoy the channel. We do carbon fiber repairs, some of the things that you will not find anywhere else on the internet. General maintenance on motorcycles. And we try to get a video out almost every day. Sometimes they're about our model railroad or our experience with model airplanes or with antique bikes or with the first super bike, the GS 1100E. But in the end, of course, it's about having fun with whatever motorcycle you ride. And we do enjoy every type of bike. That's the problem. Life is too short. And I love every one of the bikes in my humble collection. And probably some of the bikes in your collection I'm jealous of. And of course, the one Karen got me for my birthday, my beloved MT-09. And thanks for supporting the channel, and thanks so much for watching.